Hello everyone, welcome to Lily Godzilla. We're out here on the Ashokan reservoir again today, but we're in my other boat. We're up at the further end of the lower basin and we're hoping to get some trout today. So I'm gonna strap on the GoPro, we're gonna get out here, we're gonna try to troll again. It's really windy and wavy today, so I got my work cut out for me. So let's get out there and have some fun. Scary town, this is very, very scary town. Silly Lily's gonna die in a boat. And the saddest thing is she didn't even catch a fish. Crazy town, Silly Lily's gonna die today in her boat because she had to say, look at me, I got skunked today. Oh yay, crazy town. Silly Lily needs some fish, so that if she dies at least she wasn't skunked on the last day of her life. Oh God, that's not funny. Not funny anymore. These waves are picking up. The fucking wind has picked up a lot. It's like a... Oh, we got something. Feels very small. Got a trout. I know. Thank you. Yes! It's big enough to keep. Foot lure. The GoPro doesn't really give you a sense of how big these waves were for such a small boat, but as I was reeling that fish in, they started hitting the side of the boat and the wind kind of picked up a bit and it was actually getting a little dangerous. I wasn't able to really have a lot of time to look at the fish or to show it to the camera like I normally do. And I actually contemplated leaving, but I kept going. I toughed it out. The wind calmed down a little bit, and by the time I actually got to look at the fish and show it off for the camera, I was several miles away from where I had initially caught it. Okay, we got our first one of the day. It's a little trout. It's not too bad. It was right around 13 inches. We had a hard time measuring it though. It's really windy out here. And, I just wanted to get, like, I reeled it in and I just had to get, you know, moving again because it was dangerous. I even contemplated leaving after I caught this because the waves were so rough at the moment, but calmed down a bit. So I'm about maybe 2 miles from where I was when I first caught this guy. And it's still a bit rough out here, but not as bad. So we're gonna keep fishing. Hopefully get a few more, hopefully get one a little bigger. But this isn't too bad. It's a nice little stocky. Looks like they probably stocked it earlier this year, maybe last year. Pretty happy with it though. Let's see if we get some more. Throw you right back in the bucket. One of the things I really enjoy about trolling out here is I get a lot of exercise from the rowing, and the rowing almost has this meditative quality for me. There's a certain rhythmic pace you get and a certain repetitiveness, and it's just really nice. I get a lot of thinking done, and it's just really good for me physically, mentally, and spiritually. I absolutely love it out there. So beautiful out here. Even if I catch nothing or don't catch much, I always have a good time. Alright, looks like this one guy is all we got today. Still happy. Got a keeper. It's not the biggest, but it's a trout, and I earned it with all the rowing we did today. So we're gonna get this home and cook it up. I got a long walk through the trail. It's gonna be kind of dark and a little scary because I've seen bear on it before. So let's get back to the truck, get this guy home, cut it up, and cook it up, and we'll see you there. Back in the bucket. Okay, we got our fish back home. It's not the biggest, but not too bad. He's just over 13 inches. We're actually going to give him a nice measure on camera so everyone can see. And then we're going to cut him up and clean him up for everyone. Okay. Let's get our tape measure. Start at the tip of the tail. Bring it up to the very edge of the mouth. Actually, looks like I'm getting just over 14 inches. So it's a little longer than I thought. Pretty skinny. We'll do a girth just for the fun of it. It's not going to be much, but about 6.5 inch girth. Little guy. Alright, we're going to clean this up the same way we do the bass, except this guy's going to scale a lot easier. Start at the tail. We just work our way up, and these guys got really teeny little scales that tend to come off really easy. And it's almost like shaving it. Get all the belly scales really good. Oh, I hear Jingle's whining. My puppy doggy's crying. She wants some fish.
Aw, I think she's hungry. She knows what you're doing, dear.
Okay, let's bring this over to rinse.
Okay.
Alright, let's bring it back over to the table and finish the other side. Do the other side just like the first. Start at the tail. Work our way up to the top. And it feels very similar like shaving it. This is a stock trout. It's a cephaloran strain of stock trout. They scale much easier than our native brown trout. Native brown trout we get here up in New York are they're fairly hardy and robust, and they don't scale quite as easy as these stocked ones do. Get all the scales around the fins really good, and then up tight to the head, because we're going to cook this whole fish head and all. Alright, let's bring it back over to the sink and give it one more rinse. Looks like we got all the scales. Alright, let's bring it to the table and cut the guts out. Alright, we're going to cut the guts out but leave the head on. I'm going to start down on the butt. Work my way up through. And trout are different than the bass. I always go in between the fins with the trout. Go all the way up into the head, right up into the gills. Okay. Just reach in there and pull everything out. Cut the throat. If I can get it. There we go. Nothing inside the stomach. He puked all the sawbellies up into the bucket. This fish has a deformity I've never seen before. All its ribs are just sitting loose. I've never, ever, ever seen this type of deformity before. I don't know if it has an extra set of ribs or if these ribs are loose and separated from the side. I've never seen anything like this. Let's give it a good rinse. Look at that. I never saw the ribs do that before. It's like they're not attached. I did not go too deep. It would be up here I would have had to have messed up. I've never seen nothing like that. Let me grab my knife and give it a bit better. I've cut up hundreds, maybe thousands of fish. I have never seen it. I've seen so many weird deformities in fish. I have never seen the ribs separated like that. It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Get up in there good and get all the yuggies out. I'm just getting the majority of it out now, and then we're going to do a double check the day after when we take it out of our salt bath. Okay, let's bring it back over to the cutting board. Okay, so we're getting ready to put this guy in the salt bath, but before we do, I just want to reiterate, I did not do some weird cut along here and separate these ribs. The ribs on this fish, at least on the one side, that is all separated on its own. I have cut hundreds and hundreds of fish. I did not do that. This fish had a weird deformity where its rib structure is separated from the muscles. Maybe it strained itself fighting. I don't know. But I've never seen anything like that. And I just wanted to get it on camera again and reiterate, I did not do that cutting this fish up. This fish is like that. And I've never seen anything like this before. Okay. Okay. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the ribs are all fully separated from the meat. I've never seen that. Okay, let's put this in our salt bath. Okay, we're going to put this guy in our little bowl and fill it up with salt, let him soak overnight, and we're going to cook him up tomorrow. This thing has been so full with so many smallmouth, it looks weird with just one fish in there. Use the last of this salt up. Yeet. And this just, again, like I say in the other videos, this is just to draw out all the last of the blood, any last little bits of slime, or any other little oogies. Okay, so it's the next day. We've had our trout soaking in salt water overnight, and we're just going to do our double check and make sure we didn't miss any scales or guts or anything, and then we're going to put them on a baking sheet, throw them in the oven, and we're going to eat them up, and he's going to be really good. Alright, so we like to start off the same way we do in the first cleaning. We just like to do a quick double check,
Make sure there's no scales. Sometimes I'll do it with my fingers. Sometimes I'll just run the knife along. Make sure I'm not catching any scales. Looks pretty good. I'm not seeing anything that I missed. That all looks good. The next step is to go inside. And if you remember, this guy had that weird deformation or deformity where the ribs separated. But we go inside. We just make sure there's no guts that we missed. No oogies, everything looks pretty good. No air bladder left over. So this guy looks like he's going to be ready. Alright, now that we got our second checks done and our fish is ready to get cooked, we have our oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm going to spray a little of this olive oil spray I like to use. It's just easy and it works good. Just to make sure we don't stick to our pan. Nice, even coating. Don't go too thick. Okay. Now we're going to put our fish on the pan. And I have some garlic cloves already cut up, and I like to keep it fairly chunky. And put them right inside of it. Along with some butter pieces I already cut up. And again, I like to keep it fairly big and chunky. And we're just going to stuff them. Okay, I'm going to give my hands a quick wash and we're going to put seasoning on them. Okay. I know everybody does do it, but I wash my hands like 100 times when I'm cooking. I'm scared of cross-contamination. Oh, this is a basic herb blend. It's got thyme and a few other it's a French herb blend. Some people use Italian one. Any type of basic herb blend. The main thing for me is that it has thyme. Thyme is really important on trout and salmon for me personally. I just really like it. Complements the flavor really well. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle that around. I'm going to try to flip it using just the one hand. And try to get it into the belly. Get a piece of butter back in there. Oops, it's all coming out. Flip it back over. Get the other side. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a few little cloves on top. A couple pieces of butter. I'm going to break up a little smaller. And that's just going to melt and kind of drip down the sides. A couple more little bits of garlic. My dad liked garlic and he kind of rubbed off on me, so I put a lot of garlic on. And a little bit more butter. Okay. Now most of this butter is just going to kind of melt out and sit into the pan. It's going to kind of steam with it. It's going to be really good. We could also wrap it all up and have it all wrapped up in a tin foil, and that comes out equally as well. But this is just the easy way of doing it, so that's how we're going to do it today. Okay, I'm going to give my hands a quick wash, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. Okay, we're going to let that go for about 10 minutes. We're going to check it, and this guy's a little smaller, so probably 5, maybe 10 more minutes after that. So it'll be a total time of about 15 or 20 minutes. So we're going to come back in about 10 minutes and check it, and we'll see you then. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Let's give it a look. Oh, that looks good. That butter's steaming up and the fish is coming out. It's looking really good. We're going to give it another, I'll say about 6 minutes, and we'll check it again. I got a feeling it'll be close to done after 6 more minutes, but maybe not quite yet. So we'll come back in 6 more minutes. Okay, been 6 more minutes. Let's give it a look. Oh yeah, it's getting really close. I'm gonna do a few more minutes. I'll put it on for 4 more minutes. That would make 20 overall, and it should be done. We'll see you when it's done. Actually, I'm gonna bring this camera over and give you a look at it while it's cooking. Okay, look at that. That looks so yummy. Okay, we got about 3.5 minutes left, so we'll see you when it's done. We're gonna pull it out, and this is gonna be delicious. Alright, we got about 20 seconds left. We're gonna turn it off right now. It looks like it's pretty good. Turn this oven off. Okay, this looks delicious. We're gonna serve it up and eat it, and this is gonna be awesome. Alright, we got it here at the table. It looks delicious.
It really does. How long has it been since we had trout?
Last spring we caught a bunch, but we
Oh,
fried
wow.
them up. We haven't baked any in 4 years or so, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get my hot sauce mixed up.
I'm just gonna have my butter garlic, I think, on this one.
And this is butter garlic with just a little bit of my Louisiana hot sauce. Because I love it. Alright, let's pick at this guy.
Okay.
Let's see. Get a little bit out right here. Oh yeah, he's just flaking right off. Get it to... Oh, I messed it up.
Still gonna taste good. You know it's good when it's like just falling apart while you're trying to cut through it.
Yeah.
Like it is. Oh my god, look at these little flaky
It's because I'm
bits of
trying to do it
fish.
where the camera can see it, and I kinda messed up with my angles.
This is all for you. All of you out there, this is all for you.
Alright, why don't you just peel off and just do whatever you feel comfortable with. I already
Okay.
botched it.
Alright, I'm gonna take this next section here, I think.
Drizzle some butter garlic sauce on there. This looks delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't do any trout fishing this spring, so we didn't get any this spring. It's so good.
A couple of these little flaky bits too. Oh, that's amazing, dear. Oh, I like me some trout. Couple little bones. All right.
Yeah, this guy had something weird with his rib cage. They're kind of separated from the internal abdominal wall, and I've never really seen that type of deformity in a fish before. I'm not sure if it was a deformity or a weird injury, but he tastes the same as all the others. It's so good.
I am very happy right now.
You sound like it.
Got a bone. And a fin.
Alright. So we're going to finish this guy up. It's been a very fun fishing trip, but a lot of work. There was so much wind out there. Probably shouldn't have really brought that little boat out in the wind that rough with the waves that big. But thankfully we got a fish and we had a lot of fun. So I hope you had fun too. We'll see you next time on Lily Godzilla. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna have some more of this yummy fish.
Me too.